Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey guys, the Chicken is here. We are back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're going into the new year, so I thought it'd be fun to talk about some things. That would be awesome to come to Boom Beach. This in no way means it is going to at any point. It's just kind of the Chicken's wish list. So, guys, you are interested in this kind of stuff, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, guys, I do appreciate it if you throw in that code CHICKEN in the shop. So, here's where we're at in Warships. We are... The top 500 is closing in, but with 16 hours to go, I think we'll be pretty safe. We're up in 300-ish, so yeah, no need for an emergency diving back in at any point. I think we are going to be safe for our, hopefully, 13th top 500 finish, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so, we talked about some of this stuff yesterday with, the problems with Season 41, and, we can kind of go off of that a little bit today. Talking about some things that would be nice to come to Boom Beach in 2023. What do we have here? We have a turtle on the beach. We'll hide him. And yeah, so let's play some main base with the Laser Rangers. And we'll take on Dr. T and grab some proto tokens, which I still don't really understand what their use is, but either way. So first and foremost, some cool changes to warships that I would like to see. Namely just tech tree design. Just have some different changes. Like I think what would be really cool and what everyone would appreciate at this point would be to give feedback, give input on the tree. Like, sure, it's cool to not know what it's going to be and then, have the first day to break it down and all that stuff. But I think it would be interesting sometimes to have, like, community tech trees like I know OpDestroy tried to do recently. Something like that that's, like, put out by the game. Because you know how they do the, like, the in-game voting? So maybe not the entire tree, but maybe they could give us nodes. Like, it's like, okay, do you want laser rangers or critter launchers? Or do you want, 3 times boom cannons or 2 times shock launchers? Things like that. I think that would be really cool. And maybe they could even do it outside of the game. Like, remember how they used to have Hammerman's imitation game? And it was like a third-party website that they eventually closed down because I guess it was too expensive to keep the servers going or something like that. Something similar, but like a place where people can go and you can build a tech tree. You can vote on stuff maybe if you don't want to do that in game, because if you do it in game, it might be kind of confusing if everybody gets to vote. Especially it's like people might vote for 4 shock launchers just because it sounds cool to have on your base without necessarily giving thought to the season as a whole and how that's it can potentially destroy the season. And, just make people get shock locked and not be able to get chests and that kind of thing. But yeah, I think opening the tech trees up to the community is, I talked about this a little bit yesterday. I think that's a really easy way of Supercell being able to outsource tech trees without having to commit dev time to it. And I just think it would be really cool. I think it would be a lot of fun. So, yeah, there's one thought. Now, if we look at the main base, what's the problem with the main base? The main base essentially has not changed in like 6 or 7 years, right? So I don't know if they need to, like, from what I can tell, Warships is a lot more interesting and fun to more people. So to integrate them somehow, which is something I've talked about again in the past, but to integrate them somehow where it's like, going back to the voting thing, just as an example, to integrate them somehow where it's like, you clear Dr. Terror, then you can get your vote in, something like that. Or like you do all the events for a week straight and you get an extra 5% troop health for the season. Like something like that, because then everyone's playing the game all the time and the main base has some use to it, rather than them just being kind of almost feeling like 2 separate games. And the only thing I guess really that the main base affects is the Admiral key. But yeah, that doesn't really, that's just kind of a level cap. It's not really, gameplay kind of thing. So more crossover or, with warships, I think that would be one thing that would be interesting for the main base. It doesn't all have to come back to warships though, like just some new stuff in general, like a new event. I don't know. The imitation game, wherever that is, like they don't even have critter launchers yet on the imitation game bases. Imitation game was actually a really cool idea of being able to take down or at least try to go against some of these global leaderboard bases, but it just never, was that. It was always, the bases were always ridiculously easy, which is fine for lower levels. It doesn't have to be, everything has to be super challenging to be fun. But it should scale up to actual, like it should be against actual player bases, right? Like that was the whole point, rather than just these randomly generated. I think they're just like, it's like the same 20 bases or something like that they constantly go through. So, some more diversity there and just some more like actual player bases would be cool. If they don't want to make a new event, like make the ones that we have a little bit more interesting and fun. I think every now and then if they could, at the same time, I'm trying to keep this somewhat realistic. I don't want to go off and suggest a bunch of crazy, flying hero islands that you have to take down mini bosses and, stuff that would never actually come to the game. But like if they could rotate in the 20 stage Dr. T every now and then, I think that would be cool. The Mega Crab is fun and it's great for loot and for upgrading stuff. Don't get me wrong, but again, it's just never changed. Like it never changed. They brought it in on a monthly rotation because we used to have it every 4 months, I think, and that was always exciting because we hadn't we'd go so long without it. It was cool to see it come up again. Whoops. Let's heal up those Rangers. But the problem is now it's every month. It's always the same thing, and it doesn't really update with the main base. It doesn't have critter launchers, or it doesn't have some of the newer stuff. So yeah, it's just kind of the same thing we've been doing since 2015. So it's not really that exciting. So I think what they need to do is simply just update it to have the more current stuff. I think the monthly rotation. All it really did was got people more tired of the crab, and it is fun, and I know a lot of people like to push it and play competitively and stuff, but I just feel like it's too much of the same thing. Like if it's going to be that frequent, it needs to be a little bit different and more exciting, and yeah, I think that's the biggest problem with the crab. It's just simply it's just too repetitive, right? So yeah, and then next we could talk about some other stuff, which would be cool. We could have new heroes. Now I know we have the proto troops, which are different, but it's nice to have like the Laser Rangers were a new permanent troop, which is really cool, and I do like them, even if they're just kind of a differently shaped Lasertron, and it still shows that they can make new stuff for the game too, right? But it would be interesting to have more heroes, and I think if we along with the tribes, if we had like a weekly hero bonus, something like that, like it's like it rotated through maybe damage and health, and we got like a weekly weekly hero bonus that rotated through all of them, I think that would be kind of cool. Again, something easy to implement probably, and it would just open things up to fun attacks, like all like just using bullet with extra troop health or something like that. I think that would be interesting. But you guys let me know in the comments what some stuff that you think would be cool. The update was good overall, I think. But it was just, I don't know. We got to squash the bugs. Like that, I didn't even talk about that, but like, we can't have broken tech trees. We can't have broken warship seasons anymore. That's just not good. Let's go like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, it's going to be 3. Dr. T Volcano. Going in with some Lasertrons. Let's see what we can do here, guys. Let's go barrage over here. And I'm going to shock right there. This one's actually not that bad. All the defenses are pretty low level. So I'm just going to barrage some stuff out. Look at this. See, the Laser Rangers, they're just a lot of fun, especially on bases like this. Alright, let's go like that. And some more. Look at that. We're getting all the damage in behind the HQ. And boom. Stage 7 goes down. We're back. So there it is, guys. Those are some ideas that I thought would be kind of interesting to see come in 2023. It's just some basic stuff. A little bit more love for the main base would be cool. And yeah, if there was... So I'll leave this to you guys. So if there was one thing, it can be as crazy as you want, or it can be... more realistic. If you could bring one thing to Boom Beach, what would that be? Throw it down in the comments. Interested to see that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you, and we will catch you in the next one. Check it out. Bang, bang.